Bonjour mes amis, je suis Ryan Adams. Aujourd'hui, nous sommes chez Raw Kitchen avec le international chef Mark Cleveland and Tanya Fuqua. Ah, si? Ah, oui. And bonjour, monsieur, madame. So tell me what's on the menu today.
Yeah, well, first of all, welcome, and welcome to the Avanti Natural Lifestyle Media. I'm going to make a pasta fagioli, which is a classic Italian celery, bean, and pasta soup. And then I'm also going to show my version of roasting garlic, whole roasted garlic heads, and give you a little side recipe of what to do with the roasted garlic once you've got them. And Tanya is going to...
do dessert. So we're going to have a really great fruit tapioca recipe. Great one for summer.
All right, well, I'm excited and bon appetit.
Legend Sophia Loren has a quote where she said, "The smell of a good pasta fagioli can make me cry." So we'll get started. I've prepped out some of the ingredients in advance so that you can see what everything looks like if it were cooked separately. So here are the various ingredients. We've got the onions that are sauteed in olive oil with a little bit of dry vermouth. In this particular case, I added bay leaves, a sprig of rosemary, and some sage. Over here we have the celery that's cooked in a very simple water-based broth with a little bit of Madeira and some Japanese green tea, matcha, and a little bit of white miso. Those are obviously non-traditional Italian ingredients, but they add health properties and a lot of flavor. White beans were cooked with a little bit of rosemary, and then they were also cooked with some kombu seaweed. That's another optional ingredient, but gives a lot of depth of flavor and some trace minerals. Simple pasta. This pasta is called ditalini, which means little thimbles, and that is rather traditional for pasta fagioli, but you can use any small pasta that you particularly like. And then we've got the tomatoes here. Today we're using the whole plum tomatoes in juice, San Marzanos or your favorite. Organic is always better. And you take the whole tomatoes and just gently crush them a little bit to break them up, and they will break down a little bit more in the soup as you're making the soup. This is a fun project for little kids. They can they can stick their hands right into the tomatoes and squish and splatter and help make dinner. All right, let's make some pasta fagioli soup. We're going to start with garlic, of course. Give this a nice whack, and it's pretty much pre-chopped by then. All you have to do is run your knife through it.
So Mark, what do you think about that weird little green spout thing that comes in the middle of garlic cloves? What do you do? Do you eat it or not eat it?
I eat it because I feel like it's the life force, and you know, why not? So anyway, I just use organic celery. Organic celery is, first of all, so much more flavorful than the conventional one. If you cut it like this, it's great on the spoon, and you get a lot of you know, texture and sort of bite in your soup base. Time to go to the stove. So first we're going to put in a little bit of olive oil. This is one where you can use virgin. You don't really have to use extra virgin. And then we're just going to assemble our soup, all the stuff that we have previously chopped. We've got our garlic, sliced, minced, and finely minced. And you don't need to get too much color on the garlic right away. Basically, I use it once I start to smell the garlic, then I put in the other stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and add a pinch of sea salt and the celery. I know my grandmother, one of the ways she would make a more rapid pasta fagioli is if she had a little bit of her homemade marinara sauce left, she would just put that into the soup at the end, and then obviously that's already got a little bit of garlic, lots of herbs and seasoning, so it kind of brings it together in the final process. Go ahead and add your beans. And then this is a good time to add the tomatoes. And then at this point, we can just go ahead and top it off with a little bit of water. Smells
Plus,
good.
it makes the house smell beautiful.
It sure
And
does.
see, look at that. You've got red, white, and green of the Italian flag.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And so what's the difference between regular water and pasta water?
Oh, pasta water has a little starch in it. So you can do that if you want. Yeah. This pasta water is usually used for like sort of thickening up a pasta dish.
Okay.
In this case, we're going to put the pasta in, and we're going to keep the pasta separate until the time of serving, because if we put all the pasta in and then we ended up having leftovers, the next day we'd have like sort of exploded, you know, ballooned up soft pasta. So we'll show you the little technique for making pasta fagioli in a big batch, but having a fresh pot every day. Okay, I'm adding the celery that we pre-cooked for the photo shoot so that we'll have a beautiful rich soup. And then I'm going to add in a few more tomatoes and a few more beans, and all we're going to do is let this come to a simmer, and it's almost soup time.
We're ready.
Here we go. We're going to just take all of that hearty goodness and put it into our big serving bowl.
I'm starving. Let's put that to the plate.
Are we ready?
A bit more about pasta fagioli as our guru chef Mark dishes out a delicious plate full. It's been said pasta fagioli supposedly originated as poor people's food consisting of beans and pasta. Pretty basic. However, the interesting thing about making pasta fagioli is that you can add your own twist, and the greatest thing is that it brings families together.
All right, and then we've got our warm pasta. It doesn't have to be piping hot, just nice and warm. We'll stir that in at the end. Then we're gonna garnish with a little bit of fresh basil blossoms and some Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. These basil blossoms are great. You just pull them off, sprinkle them on. A lot of aroma. Ryan, is this the first time that you've had pasta fagioli?
This will be the first time, and let me just jump right in.
Excellent. Pasta
You
fagioli.
guys are jealous you were here. Thank you.
There you go.
All right. Bon appetit.
Wish you could smell it. No wonder it made Sophia Loren cry.
I know. Fagioli, Fagioli, Fazoo, however you pronounce it.
Frijoli.
Delicious.
So good.
It's a great meal. Very simple to make. Some people would say it's the best cookie in the house.
And also, when you make these recipes, please go ahead and send us your pictures, send us your comments, and send us how you adapted them to make them be something delicious for yourself.